Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to try and help out a viewer who sent in a reel that, well, we would call that reel in the bag project, I think. It's just an Ambassadeur 5501C3, which means it's a left-handed version. The viewer is Doug. Doug said that, well, he took it apart, tried to put it back together again. It wasn't working. Can I help him out? Just loosely reassembled. So we're going to see if we can help Doug and show him how to do it right the next time, so that, well, he can rest assured that he can service these reels. These reels are held on by 3 side plates, and you want to take off some of the exterior parts before removing it. It's just easier. So while I do that, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. My channel deals with all things fishing reels, the manufacture of them, the service of them, kind of a discussion as to what's right and wrong with them, high points, low points, what fails on them. More importantly, it teaches you how to service the reels and how to keep them fishing for a long time to come. If you like that kind of stuff, well, I would encourage you to subscribe. So we started by taking off the handle nut, and one of the things you want to notice on the left-handed versions, they're reversed. So you're going to take your thread off the opposite way that you would normally take thread off, and then we're going to remove the C-clip here, or E-clip. That'll enable us to remove the handle. Good time to tell you, and maybe Doug didn't do this, to take pictures as you are taking the reel apart. You have two things going for you with that. One, it's a reference point in terms of where the pieces and parts were prior to your actions. And then secondly, it's also an orientation in terms of how did you take them off and what sequence did you take them off. So at critical junctures, take some pictures. And maybe that was one there where you saw that we have the little tension spring between the star adjuster and the handle. Again, you want to take these off opposite the way the reel turns. So this is a left-handed reel. This is opposite direction. And with that one off, we'll be able to remove that side case and service the inside, or at least find out what he's done on the inside of this. It's not unusual for that spool shaft to come out with the side plate. There is a little tension hold on that, so you might want to just check that. And while you're servicing the reel, and I don't know how far he got, he said he serviced the reel, just pull that little back cap. That's your click mechanism and your drive for your line guide. Just pulls out, and then service this side as well. A little bit of oil into the bearing there. I'm going to set that off to the side. Just check his work on the back. It looks pretty good, but there was an opportunity there, opportunity lost to clean the case. So I'm going to use some rod and reel cleaner to just put it on the kitchen scrubby and go in there while we can and take care of the house cleaning on that reel seat, which you can't reach when the spool is on. All right, turn your idler gear, make sure that the line guide is turning. It is, so we're okay there. And just use that cleaner again, just to clean up the side plates there, the inner side plates, where some of that dirt and debris can lodge. And again, with the spool in there, it's a little hard to do that. Now we can put that spool back in. Oh, we'll leave that. We'll leave that for this. There is a little catch on here. That's why that axle shaft comes out. It's right there. You can see it. There's a little triangular piece in there. And now the axle shaft will just come out. Make sure the axle shaft is clean. You can put a little oil or a little grease on that, whatever your preference. I prefer oil. The side with the little extension on it is the side that's going to go to the gear side. All right, now we can take that, put that back in. This thing always bothers me because I always seem to catch these in the side plate. So I'm going to just see if I can't take a little bit of this off. Looks like somehow we've got more than enough of this kind of there. So I'm just going to clip that. And well, hold it tight as we put it in. Sometimes I like to put a rubber band on there. I don't know if the rubber band is going to be enough to hold this in place. and we can give it a try. One of the problems I seem to encounter all the time in reinstalling a spool is that the line traps in the side plates. This prevents that. Okay, just a dot of grease onto the little end of the shaft there, which is going to go into that bearing, which we've oiled. Well, actually, that's going into the bushing. You seat that in place, and we can set that aside. All right, let's find out what he did. Kind of an indicator here, our free spool release is stuck down. So those playing along inside, maybe you can guess along with me as we try to figure this out. Take the two side plate screws off. Everything I take off goes into a parts tray. That parts tray, it's an 8-cornered tray, came from a fast food container. But it helps me to keep my parts organized. And then of course at the end of this, if I have parts left over, it's a glaring omission because I'll see them right in the tray. Let's open this up. And well, let's see what's going on here. I think the biggest issue he probably has is that this anti-reverse dog here is all crunched up and not put in the right position. So we want to see if this fires. Let's just see if we can't take that off. Well, we'll keep it out of the way. See if everything fires with that. That's the answer right there. Were you guessing along with that? Well, you can see we're kind of tortured here with this anti-reverse dog. So let's pull the shaft off. Get that anti-reverse dog off, and sometimes we can get lucky enough. You can see how it's been bent, it got trapped in the gears. Sometimes if you just get that micro pliers, kind of straighten it, you'll be okay. If you need to go find one, it might be a little bit more difficult. This is a tension, oh, we got real lucky. See how that works like that? Tension-driven device. So what you need to do here is to spread those wings on your click ratchet. And I suspect what happened here was that thing got crunched up because they weren't spread the right way. You spread them, you bring these down. And that's the way that this loads. So what was probably happening is those two wings did not split this, they went underneath. This is your trip lever kicker, if you will, for the free spool release. And I guess if this is all crumbled up in there, that can't reach to do its job. I'm just going to set it this way for a moment to get that out of the way. A little quick piece of grease on there. Again, he said he had it all apart, and when it went back together again, it didn't work. We'll just freshen up the grease. I'm going to trust his work. It looks like he did a nice job otherwise. It all looks nice and clean. Bring that in. Make sure that you can mesh your gear here. Get that over the piece. And this is where it usually goes bad, right? So what's happened is we're in the release stage here. I need my handle. It's a left-handed throw. And I was just checking to make sure that we have the anti-reverse dog. So here's where it goes bad. You go to load this on, and if you're not paying attention as you're spinning your wheel, you're going to kick that anti-reverse dog out and away. That's because the side cover here is going to hold that, like my finger was holding it in. And if you are uncareful, it does want to kick out all by itself. All right, just do me a favor here, put a little more grease onto the pinion gear. So what did you think? Did you have that one down as the issue? I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking that maybe a spring got kicked the wrong way or something, but one never knows. So it's always kind of fun to guess before you do it, and then try and figure it out as you do. All right, we need to make sure that this is sitting tight. It's not. Okay, now we got it. You heard all those clicks. Needs to be a nice tight seam all the way around before you install the screws. Screw on each side. Then we'll put this thing back together and give it a test. So this is kind of what the channel's all about. It's about transferring skills. It's about teaching you how to diagnose the issues with your reels, helping you along the way if you get lost, like this one, need a little bit of help, and keeping these reels fishing. These are beautiful reels. This is an older designed reel. That's one of the earlier architectures in the Abu Ambassadeur lineup in terms of how they made their reels. They've been very consistent pretty much throughout, but this is an early one. And well, you can see that this one's designed to last a very long time. Again, this is a left-handed reel, so you're going to turn it towards you to set your star adjuster. And if you have a little bit of an issue there, check to make sure that it's threading evenly. There we go. I had a little bit cross-strip, but backing it off and resetting it gets that done correctly. Remember what we said about taking the pictures. This is your next piece right here. It's that little tension washer that goes between the star adjuster and your handle. Right there. Then your handle can go on. Next step then would be the E-clip to hold that gear shaft and I think I have to go find another E-clip. We'll be right back. Okay, looks like that E-clip got tortured along the way. Not sure how it got pulled out, but we'll put another one in here. Hold it nice and tight. Next up then is our nut. Remember, again, left-handed, so it's going to go towards you for the thread, which sometimes is called the reverse thread. And you want to do the same thing we were doing with that adjuster. If you find that it's not going in easily, that you can tighten it by hand, then you want to just check to make sure it's going on square. Once you do that, tighten down your drag before you finish tightening up the rotor nut. Tighten your rotor nut, and generally, if the point on the nut is pointing towards the anchor screw, your cap should fit. And indeed it does. Well, we don't have much more to do, but look like it was a good attempt. Looks like everything on the inside got cleaned up, greased, oiled, and the like. Of course, we're going to check that work. And just looks like in the installation of it, that anti-reverse dog got bent out of shape. All right. A little bit of grease onto the shaft. You can see that little indentation right at the end of the spool, and that's what the adjuster cap is going to lodge in. That's why you'll pull that spool out sometimes when you're removing it. Let's see if we can put all of this together. Just going to find the right line up the screws and the holes. And just like we did earlier in setting this to the back plate, make sure that your plate is nice and even. We can tighten this up and tighten again. The funny thing with this is it's a left-handed version. Some of the things are reverse threaded, some are not. So if you're having trouble because it's not starting, don't assume everything is all left-handed threaded. And well, act accordingly. This, I believe the adjuster down here is also a regular right clockwise threading. Okay, tighten those up. Give it a spin. Working nicely. Let's put the free spool release. Again, you can adjust it with a tensioner here. Works nicely. Make sure that it kicks back beautifully. Make sure your drags are set, they're nice and tight. Okay, Doug, you got another reel that's ready to go fishing again, and you kind of figured out where the issue was in terms of how to set that anti-reverse dog for you, and next time around I'm sure you'll get it correct. Hope you've enjoyed that, playing along with me. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank our first responders and essential personnel and everybody working to keep us safe. I think we're all watching those wildfires out in Los Angeles, and you can see the dedication to task and to public safety that these folks do, laying their lives on the line for us. Thank you so much. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.